we could talk about possible environmental and social benefits of tourist taxis, but let's talk song. You can already see that something is changing, which is why I need to start with a big thank you, especially to all the contributors to the Simba Cam, namely Angela White, Devin Grayson, Paula Freitas, Karen Seidman, Christine Terry, Jennifer Grinder, Natalie Hass, Laura Beth Johansson Cohn, and Roger Anderson, as well as all other monthly contributors on Patreon and on YouTube. You have made me the proud owner of both the Sony Alpha ZV-E10 II that I'm talking into right now, and the Simbacam, an Insta360 X4 Air, I believe, that allows you to see my dog. This is Simba. First introduction to you, a 5-year-old golden retriever. Right now wearing a cone because he's got a bad eye infection, so please keep sending to that Simba Cam link so that we can also pay the vet. Today I'm going to be listening to Coney Island by Taylor Swift, suggested by members Halls Crawford and .com Mara, as well as regular viewers S1188M and Just Sarah Music. You know I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, or I'm becoming one, and I really want to continue learning about her amazing songwriting. So without further ado, let's get going. Step 1, find the tonal center. I believe we are in the key of A flat major. Let's try and confirm this. Yes. Step 2, find the chord progression. Interesting. So what we have got is a 5 chord progression that actually is a full chord progression. Starting with the 1 chord, going to the 4, then we have got the 5, and then we have got something relatively interesting, which is the 6 minor for 2 beats only, and then going back to the 4 chord. So in terms of actual chord names, we would have an A flat major, D flat, E flat, and then F minor for half bar only, and back to D flat. Quite interesting. I wonder if this is it already, or if they even have additional chords in that progression.
Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here.
Wow, that's interesting, because the verse actually now changes chord progression already. So what we have heard in the intro might be a foreshadowing element of another section, maybe the chorus, while the verse certainly takes us to another mode, starting on a different chord, not on the 1 chord.
Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here. Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here.
That's really freaky. What we have is a 3 minor chord for 2 bars that then goes to a 4 chord for 2 bars. So we go to a Phrygian minor mode that is quite unusual for pop music and certainly fits the feeling of those first 2 lines in the lyrics. Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here. So a really melancholy bit that we also hear in the music. Let's find the melody.
Break my soul in two.
Even more interesting that we would start with the actual root note of the scale while we hear the 3 minor chord, where we don't hear the root note. Interesting, interesting. An upward movement of 3 notes, basic motif. Let's see how that develops now.
Looking for you, but you're right here.
Turns into a 2-note motif that somehow resolves, also with the chord change that goes from C minor to that D flat major.
I can't relate to you any more than who am I related to.
Wait a minute. It is in fact the chord progression from the intro. Maybe I certainly couldn't hear the root note playing in the arrangement when Taylor Swift started singing, but for the rest, because now we hear the other chords that are in the introduction as well. So now we do have, let's say, 3 minor. Let's say that this is the reharm choice that they make in comparison to the intro. But after the 3 minor, we certainly have the 4 that goes to the 5, that goes to the 6 minor, half a bar only, that then goes back to the D flat chord. So yes, we have got the same chords, maybe with a tiny variation at the beginning, in the verse and in the intro. The melody certainly changes.
If I can't relate to you any more, than who am I related to?
It doesn't. It doesn't change at all. The 3-note motif that we know from the beginning, and then we have got the 2-note motif that goes down and resolves to. Let's look at the words. Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here. We establish an A-B, maybe A-B section, right? Where to and right here certainly don't rhyme with each other, although we've got this looking for you rhyme a bit hidden in the middle with a little internal rhyme. Then we have got if I can't relate to you anymore, then who am I related to? Okay, let's listen to how she phrases it in order to find the proper rhyme words.
Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here.
This is quite conventional and the way we would actually say the words as well.
If I can't relate to you.
Okay, if I can't relate to you, that certainly does rhyme with the into thing. I'm looking at the Apple Music lyrics that kind of make trouble when it comes to the line separations.
Any more, than who am I related to?
Okay, any more than who am I related to? What we certainly have here is, let's try and get this right, not an ellipsis, but in fact an enjambement where we continue the phrase, right? If I can't relate to you is not finished because it continues with any more than who am I related to. And the related to does go back to lines 1 and 3. So what we have here is in fact an ABAA rhyming pattern, quite interesting. I'm really curious to find out how things develop from here.
And if this is the long haul, how'd we get here so soon?
We certainly keep this chord progression and melodic vibe from the first verse. So I would argue we are still in the verse, although the lines get a bit looser when it comes to metric rhythm and rhyming pattern. And if this is the long haul, how do we get here so soon?
Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I shatter you?
Really, really beautiful words. So it's a bit spoken language style, right? It's not so much fixed into the metric rhythm, but instead adapted to the way you would actually phrase the words. And if this is the long haul, how'd we get here so soon? Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I shatter you? Again, with this longer line divided up into 2 lines.
Did I close my fist around something?
Right? Did I close my fist around something? And then continuing the phrase, right? Certainly breaking this ABAA rhyming pattern, because fist certainly does not go back to long haul.
Sitting on a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go?
Okay, so we have got what may or may not be the chorus, because it certainly features the title of the song, and I'm sitting on a bench in Coney Island. That also changes the mode. Now we go to 6 minor, so to the Aeolian mode. I heard a 6 minor 4 1, right? Relatively conventional chord progression, but certainly fresh and new in that context here.
And I'm sitting on a bench in Coney Island.
And I'm sitting with a cool pickup thing that certainly creates contrast to the verse, where we, I think, started after the chord, didn't we?
Break my soul in two.
Yeah, so we start the verse melody on the 2, right? Break my soul in two. Here we create contrast by starting on a pickup instead, with and I'm sitting here, the sitting being the actual downbeat.
Sitting on a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go?
So We could argue that we have got some kind of A flat add 9 arpeggio movement going down with that resolving element that we also had in the verse. And I'm sitting on a bench in Coney Island wondering, where did my baby go?
The fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go.
Okay, we have got an answering motif that also finishes the rhyme, because merry-go certainly rhymes with baby-go, and we have got this, the fast times, as an answering melodic motif.
Fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go.
I think the fast times. Wait a minute. The fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go. At the same time, adding that beautiful prosodic element with the melody performing this rotatory movement that the merry-go-round also does. Right? This is actually the movement that the merry-go-round represents. Really, really cool, going up and down.
Sorry for not making you my centerfold.
Okay. Sorry for not making you my centerfold.
Over and over.
Really, really cool. Over and over again with that wavy movement. Did the chords develop after this 6 minor 4/1 idea, or are we in the same idea all over again?
Fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go. On a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go? Bright lights, the merry-go. Are not making you my centerfold.
Interesting. So after that here, we go to something that we have hinted at in the verse. In a way, she takes the last idea from the verse and puts it first, which was the 6 minor to 4 movement. Then she goes back to the beginning of the actual chord progression, and then we have got this movement up. So quite interesting recycling of the chords, putting them not in a different order because the order kind of stays the same, but starting with another chord. Really interesting approach here.
Disappointments, close your eyes and it gets colder and cold.
Brilliant, brilliant. I don't understand this, but it's certainly cool. So after those 2 different chord progressions that we have, we seem to go back to the 6 minor, but not really to the chord progression that we had introduced, I believe.
Lost again with no surprises. Disappointments, close your eyes and when the sun goes down.
It's really, really crazy. So we do repeat that 6 minor to D flat idea. Then we go to some kind of 1 or 3 minor voicing. We certainly have got this here as well somewhere. So the one with major 3 and bass, maybe creating that confusion that I had all along between the 1 chord and the 3 minor chord, because it's kind of a hybrid, right? And then we certainly do repeat that movement up from the maybe A flat over C to that D flat and then to the E, certainly building something that may or may not take us to another chorus. We were certainly in build-up mode all along, and the big repeating hooks I haven't spotted yet.
The question pounds my head.
Okay, this is not Taylor, but instead the singer of The National, whose name may or may not be William Bowery, because he is the second songwriter. Song written by Taylor Swift, William Bowery, Aaron Dessner, and Bryce Dessner. I didn't know there was a Bryce. Maybe you can tell me something about Bryce. I've read the name Aaron Dessner quite often. I haven't really read the name Bryce Dessner, which seems to be a relative. What I haven't looked at, before we continue with the national verse, I haven't looked at the lyrics in what I will now call the chorus, at least not at the second half. And I'm sitting here on a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go, the fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go. I haven't talked about the list of 3, right? This is another quite useful lyric writing tool to come up with lists of 3 that you can kind of establish as a lyrical motif or our hook. In that case, it's the fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go. Really cool. And then this getting answered again by sorry for not making you my centerfold. Then we have got over and over, again going back to that merry-go-round idea, and then lost again with no surprises, disappointments, close your eyes, and it gets colder and colder, right? The over and over turning into colder and colder, really beautiful imagery there in the chorus.
When the sun goes down.
And this, when the sun goes down, kind of as an afterthought.
Question pounds my head. What's a lifetime of achievement?
All right, so what we see here is that after that 6 minor to 4 idea that we have got as a repeating motif, we certainly go to that A flat over C beginning of verse number 2. And what also is a similarity to verse number 1 is the melody beginning after the downbeat, right? The question pounds my head. And the melody movement is...
Question pounds my head. What's a lifetime of achievement?
It is the verse melody from verse 1. It is break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here.
Break my soul in two, looking for you, but you're right here.
With tiny differences in the metric rhythm, but basically the same idea. The question pounds my head. What's a lifetime of achievement? Maybe you can let me know your answer in the comments.
I pushed you to the edge, but you were too polite to leave me.
If I pushed you to the edge, but you were too polite to leave me. We have got the same chords and the same melody. We have got different rhyming pattern here, where we actually go into the A-B rhyming pattern that I was expecting in the first verse. The question pounds my head. What's a lifetime of achievement? If I pushed you to the edge, going back to the head idea, but you were too polite to leave me. Leave me and achievement forming a cool mosaic rhyme where you have got different words rhyming with one longer word.
Do you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise and left you there?
Is that a section that we know?
You forgive my soul when you're too wise to trust me and too old to care.
Is that... And if this is the long haul?
This is the long haul. How'd we get here so soon?
I think so. I think it goes back to the second half of the first verse that now says, and do you miss the rogue?
Do you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise and left you there?
Okay. Okay, we have got tiny variations in the melody, but we keep the ideas. The lyrics being, and do you miss the rogue who coaxed you into paradise and left you there? What a beautiful internal rhyme with rogue and coaxed. Also two very, very cool words.
You forgive my soul when you're too wise to trust me and too old to care.
And the soul going back to the coaxed and rogue idea, and the care going back to the left you there idea. So we do bring back the rhyming patterns that we had established before. Really, really cool.
We were like the mall before the internet. It was the one place to be.
Is that I'm sitting on a bench in Coney Island?
And I'm sitting on a bench in Coney Island.
It's a bit different.
'Cause we were like the mall before the internet. It was the one place to be.
It was the one place to be. There is a tiny stress issue there, but actually it was the one place to be. Because it's the one place to be, it's okay to put a stress on the it. We certainly had this idea of going down. It is all about storytelling and imagery yet again, okay? So we don't find those poppy recurring themes of powerful melodic hooks or lyric lines that form something that will repeat, but instead it's something that goes on and on. Because we were like them all before the internet, it was the one place to be. Certainly cool lyrics.
Mischief, the gift-wrapped suburban dreams.
The mischief, the gift-wrapped suburban dreams. Not really a list of 3, but certainly going back to that first list of 3 that was the fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go, right? So she remembered that she had a list of 3. She now expands the second thing, turning it into a gift-wrapped suburban dream, which is a really, really beautiful image. Certainly a repetition or a spotting, a recognition of the pattern and a repetition of it.
Sorry for not winning you an arcade ring.
Okay, all the mall references here. So again, be aware of the topic or of the image you want to paint and put in as many words related to that topic as possible.
Over and over.
All right, so the over and over certainly comes back as the first lyrical hook and melodic as well.
Disappointments, close your eyes and it gets colder and colder.
This is certainly the chorus. Why? Because it repeats, right? Lost again with no surprises, disappointment, close your eyes and it gets colder and colder.
When the sun goes down.
The sun goes down. Prosodic element, very obvious one, but still. Right? The sun goes down. It goes down, it doesn't go up. So this is the only melodic movement that was legal in that instance.
You waiting at a old spot in the tree line by the gold clock.
Have we got a Taylor Swift typical primary bridge? I believe so.
Did I leave you hanging every single day?
What is the chord progression? I keep confusing the different variations of the chord progression that may or may not be the same chord progression throughout.
Waiting at a old spot in the tree line every single day.
Were you standing birthday? Did I paint your bluest skies the darkest gray?
All right, so certainly something else. With the chords that we do know, it's just really difficult to spot that recurring pattern right now. Where you're waiting at our old spot. And you kiss me in the dark. I think there was an old spot in another Taylor Swift song, right? The way you kissed me at the right up. Which one is that? Old habits start screaming. I'm sure that you can tell me the reference that those two songs have got with each other. It certainly has got lyrical and melodic recycling, right? Where you're waiting at our old spot.
Were you waiting at a old spot?
We certainly bring back that 3-note idea that we had in the verses.
Did I leave you hanging every single day?
Really, really cool. So the lyrics say, where you're waiting at our old spot in the tree line by the gold clock, establishing an XAXA pattern. Did I leave you hanging every single day? And the melody leaves us hanging.
Did I leave you hanging every single day?
It's not the resolution, right? It's not every single day. That would be the resolution where somebody is not left hanging, but instead it's left hanging in the melody as well. Really, really cool.
Standing in the hallway with a big cake, happy birthday.
Same motif. And also with hallway and birthday, forming a loose rhyme but still keeping the rhyming pattern.
Did I paint your bluest skies the darkest gray?
Did I paint your bluest skies the darkest grey? We know that Taylor Swift likes colors. We know that I am not really able to see them, which is why they don't mean so much to me. But you will be able to tell me what this meant in particular.
The universe away.
Universe away.
Got into the accident. The sight that flashed before me was your face.
An accident?
When I got into the accident, the sight that flashed before me was your face.
And when I got into the accident, the sight I flashed before me was your face. That's brutal. Let's see if they survive.
When I walked up to the podium, I think that I forgot to say your name.
But when I walked up to the podium, I think that I forgot to say your name. So let's say they get awarded a prize and they say thank you to all the people who have contributed to it. But they didn't thank the person that was actually an inspiration.
I'm on a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go?
Okay. Certainly a lyrical line that we know, but listen to this here.
And I'm sitting on a
Right? And I'm sitting on a beach in Coney Island with that pickup melody. Now, this pickup melody does not come back. Instead, we start the melody after the downbeat, just like all the other sections.
I'm on a bench in Coney Island, wondering where did my baby go? It's times the bright lights, the merry-go.
Thank you for bringing that back. Certainly my favorite and strongest line of the song. The bright lights, the fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go. Both with the line of 3 and with the prosodic element of the melody. Brilliant.
Sorry for not making you my centerfold over and over. Disappointments, close your eyes.
Variation in the melody, right? Close your eyes! Going up and continuing that building movement.
It gets colder and colder.
We had a background melody that says... Really, really cool.
When the sun goes down. When the sun goes down.
Not really going down that time, right? So, forming something like a deceptive resolution in the melody.
The sight that flashed before me was your face.
Recycling element, this accident idea, the sight that flashed before me was your face.
Sun goes down.
Okay, sun goes down. Okay, different melodic variations on the sundown motif now. And it's now not the accident that brings back the phase memory, but the sunset.
But I think that I forgot to say your name.
And now it's not the word ceremony, but instead the over and over idea.
Over and over. Sorry for not making you my centerfold.
Interesting ending. Centerfold. And we really have got dominant feeling. We also have got a couple of seconds left. Let's see if they resolve it. No, they don't. So we end on the dominant chord, really leaving the ending open and unanswered for the listener. And this was Taylor Swift's, William Bowery's, Aaron Dessner's and Bryce Dessner's Coney Island. I'm sure to be taking away valuable songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1 is use enjambements in lyric intense pop music. Enjambements are lines that kind of require the next line to complete its meaning. We had at least 2 instances in the first verse. The first instance was, if I can't relate to you, and then the anymore after that was in the next line. Listen to this here.
If I can't relate to you any more than who am I?
Right, like a mini rest in between that opens the next line in terms of metric rhythm, but in terms of content continues the idea. And then the second instance was the did I close my fist around something delicate?
Did I close my fist around something delicate? Did I?
Right, so enjambement, there's been a couple of videos where I messed this up and I kept calling this ellipsis. Ellipsis is something else. Ellipsis is when the sentence doesn't finish properly and when there is a word. Songwriting learning number 2, the Let's Talk song classic. Be aware of prosodic elements in your lyrics and turn them into music. They did perfectly, at least in 2 instances. First with the merry-go and second with the sundown. Listen to the merry-go in the melody also.
The fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go.
Right, so we have got this up and down movement like in the merry-go-round. What a beautiful musical image. And then we have got the sundown.
When the sun goes down.
Obvious, but still beginning to intermediate songwriters tend to kind of overlook those things and turn it into something quite messy. Make sure to know what your lyrics say and to represent this as well in your music. And songwriting learning number 3, I need to keep this power and booster line with the fast times, the bright lights, and the merry-go, this time highlighting the list of 3 things, right? So this is something that is a lyrical, let's say, foundation stone. Lists of 3 always make for good poetry and song lyrics. Listen to how beautiful it rolls.
The fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go.
Right? The fast, oh, I keep forgetting. The fast times, the bright lights, the merry-go. What beautiful lyric writing. And this was my live reaction and on-the-fly analysis of Taylor Swift's Coney Island featuring The National. Now, if you liked this video, please make sure to give me the thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel if you haven't yet, and to leave friendly comments, maybe also suggesting other songs that you would like me to analyze. Also, remember that you can increase your chances of the suggestion being actually considered by becoming a paying member of this enterprise. I already gave you the 3 options that you have. Either you go to Patreon, or you become a paying channel member here on YouTube, or you send me money via PayPal, link in description. I'm kind of curious to find out how this first video went with the new camera setup. Please also give me feedback how you think this new format is coming along. I guess we've talked song. You can talk about possible environmental and social benefits of a tourist tax now. Bye bye!